Hi, I'm Desitasari from GM20, and in this video, I will be presenting a real-world application of game theory by analyzing the competition. This presentation will be focused on the dynamic rivalry between WULING and BYD in the rapidly evolving Indonesia electric vehicle market during GIS 2025. Why WULING and BYD? It's because their interaction over a compelling case for applying business theory, particularly in understanding oligopoly dynamic within the unique context of the Indonesian market. This analysis focuses on the submarket of entry-level EVs in Indonesia, where WULING and BYD are directly competing for early adopters within a rapidly growing customer base. Although both of the companies do not yet control the majority of Indonesia's total EV market, their direct confrontation within this entry-level EV submarket clearly represent a strategic oligopoly dynamic. In this case, they are not just any player. They are the dominant forces collective commanding over 65% of the Indonesia BEV markets, actively shaping this emerging and highly concentrated competitive landscape. In this specific segment, product sustainability is high and pricing moves are visible reactive, all of which perfectly fulfill the conditions necessary to apply game theory models. Okay, let's move to the next slide. As we know, Indonesia EVs market is undergoing explosive growth. In 2024, total BEV sales surpassed 40,000 units, a clear sign that electrification is not longer this niche. Within this booming sector, BYD and WULING collectively command over 65% market share, indicating a tightly concentrated competitive structure. We've seen WULING aggressive discount at GIS 2025, which although largely dealer-driven initiative, were a direct strategic response to BYD's assertive market entry and their leading sales in the early 2025. Both firms are key market mover, shaping consumer expectation and future market structure, which may indeed include the formatting of potential barrier to entry in the long run. According to 2024 sales data compiled from Gaikindo and multiple sources, the four-firm concentration ratio in Indonesia's BEV market approached 85%, while the 8 firms ratio goes as high as 96%. Based on this data, it can be concluded that the EV car market in Indonesia in 2024 shows a very tight and highly concentrated oligopoly structure. BYD and WULING collectively hold approximately over 65% of the market structure, making them two dominant players with significant market power. Before we dive into our specific case, let's quickly review the fundamental concept of game theory. In oligopolies, firms are mutually dependent. One player's move affect the other's payoff. That's exactly what game theory models a strategic decision-making under interdependence. In our case, the entry-level EV market meets the conditions for a static game with simultaneous pricing strategies. On the game theory approach, we will model this as a 2x2 static pricing game, which is highly relevant to the veteran model. In the veteran model, firms compete directly on price. Each company, WULING and BYD, has two main strategic choice at JS. Aggressive pricing, which means offering significant discount on the lower price, or moderate, we call maintaining price plus regular promotions. Now let's see in our game metrics on the following table, each cell showing the estimated outcome for WULING and BYD based on their combined strategies. Remember, higher number means better result, reflecting market share and profit. First, if both go aggressive pricing, it is a price war. Both gain some volume, but margin gets squeezed. We estimated a moderate gain for both WULING 5 via BYD 5. Next, if WULING is aggressive and BYD is moderate, WULING gains a big advantage with discount drawing consumers. WULING gets a strong 9 while BYD take a hit with a 4. If WULING moderate and BYD is aggressive, BYD dominates. Their attractive pricing shift consumer, making it 2 for WULING. BYD earns as 9, WULING gets 4. Finally, if both chose moderate, this creates healthier sustainability competition. They're complete on value and feature, not just price, but achieve decent profit, so we place them at 7 each. Okay, move to the next slide. Let's analyze if either firms has a dominant strategy. A dominant strategy is the best strategy for players regardless of what the other place does. Let's look at WULING first. If BYD goes aggressive, WULING prefer aggressive 5 over 4. WULING clearly prefer 5. If BYD goes moderate, WULING still prefer aggressive 9 over 7. Therefore, WULING dominant strategy is aggressive pricing. Okay, now let's analyze if either firms has a dominant strategy. A dominant strategy is the best strategy for a player regardless of what the other place does. Let's look at WULING first. If BYD goes aggressive, WULING prefers aggressive 5 over 4. WULING clearly prefer 5. If BYD goes moderate, WULING still prefer aggressive 9 over 7. For BYD, if WULING goes aggressive, BYD prefer aggressive 5 over 4. BYD clearly prefer 5. If WULING goes moderate, BYD also prefer aggressive 9 over 7. Therefore, BYD's dominant strategy is also aggressive pricing. Since both players have aggressive pricing as their dominant strategy, the Nash equilibrium occurs when both WULING and BYD choose aggressive pricing. Now, let's ask a crucial question. Is the Nash equilibrium optimal for both WULING and BYD? The answer, our Nash equilibrium yield payoff 5 on 5. However, if both firm has chosen moderate, their payoff will be 7 on 7. This clearly indicated that the Nash equilibrium is not the optimal outcome for either company, as there is another outcome where both could be better go. This situation perfectly illustrated as a classic game theory concept, the prison dilemmas. In the prison dilemmas, each individual players acting rationally in their own self-interest, choosing a strategy that leads to a sub-optional outcome for both. This is precisely what we observe here. To elaborate, if WULING unilaterally decide to go moderate while BYD remaining aggressive pricing, WULING would face a payoff of 4, which is worse than 5. Same like if BYD decided to go moderate while WULING remain aggressive pricing, BYD will face a payoff of 4 worse than 5. So, despite the fact that both firms would be better off if they both choose moderate with a payoff of 7 on 7. The dominant strategy for each firm acting independently and rationally leads them to aggressive pricing. They fail to reach the mutually optimal outcome primarily due to a lack of trust and the powerful individual incentive to cheat by aggressively cutting price to capture market share. This is a key implication of a Bertrand models in a real-world oligopolies. Firms tend to undercut each other's price, even if it leads to power profit for all, because the fear of being undercut by the competition is too strong and risks a more collaborative approach. Beyond simultaneous move, we can also analyze a sequential game using a decision tree. Here, one player, the leader, move first. At the other, the followers respond after observing that move. We use backward induction for find the option outcome. Let's for the model leader as a BYD, given their new product launch like the Atto One and WULING as the follower. BYD has two initial strategies, disruptive price or standard price. WULING then responds by either aggressive discount or choosing maintaining price. Looking at the decision tree and applying backward inductions, if BYD launch with a standard price, WULING is best response is to aggressive discount, leading to WULING egg BYD's tree. If BYD launch with a disruptive price, WULING best response is also to aggressive discount, leading to WULING 5 BYD 5. Knowing this, BYD compared its payoff if it is launched disruptive is getting 5. If it is launched standard, it only gets 3. Therefore, BYD's optimal strategy is to launch with disruptive price. The subgame Perfect Nash Equilibrium shows BYD launching with a disruptive price and WULING responding by aggressive discounting. This outcome is highly consistent with market observation, where BYD's entry triggered WULING's deep discount. What are the practical implications of this prisoner's dilemma for WULING and BYD in the real world? Our Nash equilibrium suggests that both firms will be driven towards aggressive pricing, a scenario often called a price war trap, while WULING's recent aggressive discount were a direct response to BYD's market entry. This strategy is pronounced will severely squeeze the profit margin for both WULING and BYD. While WULING recent aggressive discount were a direct response to BYD entry, a prolonged price war will severely squeeze profit and risk developing their brand in the long run. It's great for consumer initially, but no sustainability for the industry. How can they break free from this optional outcome? The key lies in the breaking dilemma itself. First, differentiation. Instead of just competing on price, they must invest a unique feature like superior technology and robust after-sales service. Second, market segmentation. Target distinct customer group with tailored offering, avoiding direct head-to-head battle where possible. Third, brand building. Move beyond pure price competition by crafting compelling narrative and focusing on customer experience to build lasting loyalty. So please always remember, this is not a one-off game. The EV market is a repeated game. Every strategic decision at JS 2025 will shape their long-term reputation and credibility. A firm concentrated engaging in price wars might struggle to introduce premium models later. If you have any question or would like to discuss this insight further, please don't hesitate to connect. So thank you and goodbye.